registry of terms. So the initial rules we adopted at the beginning of the term. This is an addendum because we never really gotten into the limit, like we got into one last fiscal year. So anytime you add something to council rules, it's a simple working through or changing something. And you could have done tonight, and amended anything tonight if there was a concern with something. Next week you say, look, you know what, this one section really concerns me. I'm just trying to get something on the table in case something comes up. I'm sorry. It was a long-winded answer.
I just want to know if she got her answer. But,
Mr. Butler.
thank you. Actually, I think the way it's written, where you would, if someone had a request to expend some funds for a book or a conference or whatever you wanted to do, I think it's a very simple solution, the way it's written right there, to the council president, the majority leader, the minority leader, say yes or no. I mean, if you think it's going to be partisan, it wouldn't be any different if you brought it to the full body. There's more votes on one side than another, and, you know, if you're worried about partisanship, it's going to happen anyway, but it wouldn't. I don't see that. I think any reasonable request would happen, and they would just say, yeah, go ahead.
Mr. Watts?
Yeah. I understand Bruce, he clearly said that we don't have the money this year. I felt like it was reasonable to work it out in 2 weeks, and then work out the language and get something that everyone can buy into. I thought that was pretty reasonable, considering that we're not going to be expending any funds in the next 2 weeks because we don't have any funds.
Word of information, I think we have $5,000.
Effective July 1st.
Okay. All right, so there's $5,000 there. So for me, I just thought that maybe it was a way that we could, you know, work it out, because we're not using recess or whatever, right? That's kind of we've got into that, right? Because I normally would have called it recess, right? But there's been some rule changes on recess, right? So we can do that if the body wants to do that and work something out now, but I was under the assumption that we're not using recess without a compelling reason.
Mr. Petrini?
I just want to add at this stage, this has been talked about for quite a long time. I know finance and BETS set guidelines. I remember, because I am on the finance committee, I know we talked about it in May at the committee hearing, and I know some of the members said they never saw this. So Fred made a point to make sure all the council people on the committee, and possibly the whole council, got an email of this draft. In June, I chaired for Bruce, and we did talk about this in finance, and then in July, there were some changes made. I really do believe at this stage, this should come to a vote tonight, and by all means, if anybody wants to make any amendments, it can be done every 2 weeks, anytime that we have a meeting, and nobody is trying, but at least it now puts in motion that we have something to work on, a work in progress, and rather than debating this every month and nothing gets done, let's get this done tonight, hopefully, and if there's any more language that needs to be done, we can discuss it in finance or in 2 weeks from now. So rather than just kicking it down the road, hopefully this will get the wheels going.
Any further discussion? Seeing none.